Congratulations, you made it to the end of the abdominal section. So where did we start? We started with just you learning how to draw your belly button in without too much upward or downward deviation. You learned how to do that on your side in addition to hands and knees position. Then you learned a little bit about getting the obliques back into the game. So imagine that 9 months you were pregnant, you had a massive shift in your posture, and then you delivered your baby and you have a massive change in your positions and postures again. You have massive changes in your muscle tissues and even in the nerve tissues there. So we need to just send messages to all of those tissues. Hey, it's time to adapt again. And the way we do that is finding a neutral position, finding positions that set the muscles up to be at a length to work well, and then we bombard the muscles with gentle but sustained contractions in different ways that connect our upper body to our lower body and our left and right sides to one another. We do that with and without components of the deep core, so the pelvic floor, the breathing, and the transversus abdominis, to understand our tendencies and understand potentially our deficits. And then we basically train that in longer holds at low intensities to create a tree trunk, which is the main nerve, full of branches, which are the little branches that go to the individual muscle fibers to say, hey, we want this to be a widespread system, so all the muscle fibers are participating, and not just the upper, not just the lower, not just this part, not just that part. And you also went through a process where you identified what it was like with and without a deep core component of that. Did it feel good? Did it not feel good? This way, when you see a provider, say if it's a pelvic PT, you can communicate, hey, this is what I did, and this is what I had a hard time with. You also know that going into phase 2, where the focus is capacity building. So trying to stimulate enough force across the tissue that you can now create a change. The tissue becomes stronger, and then the muscle tissue can become stronger. When I said tissue before, I was talking about the connective tissues that connect the outer core and the deeper core. Now, your next steps are this. So section 1 was pelvic floor, section 2 was breathing, section 3 are abdominals. We hit those individually, but now it's to what I want you to transition when you're ready is learning how to coordinate those together. What I mean by that, and I kind of talked about this in the oblique videos, are you able to coordinate a pelvic floor contraction with a little bit of abdominals, but not too much abdominals, and then continue to breathe as you perform a movement or an exercise? Or do you know that your abdominals tend to dominate, so you need to have a little bit more intention and focus on the pelvic floor component? Coordination and teamwork is how the system works, the deep and the outer core. If the outer core dominates over the deep system, you may not have problems for a while, you may never have problems, but it might be harder for you to feel the connection between your right side and your left side, and then your upper body with your lower body. So understanding that relationship and why we are doing this may help you connect more quickly. So your focus here is to now try to apply these concepts to what you're currently doing in your fitness programs or your rehab programs, and then what you're going to see in phase 2. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Fill out your sheets, and I look forward to talking to you at our next coaching